Hi there, welcome to another presentation of the Globe Sound Healing Conference. Now we have Eliana Gilad. Hi, Eliana.
Hi, David. I am just so happy to be here with you, really.
Welcome, welcome. Eliana is an ancient Mediterranean music expert and therapeutic singing pioneer, two-time TED presenter, and international best-selling author. She founded Voices of Eden, empowering spiritually mature healing professionals to transform stress into resilience through therapeutic singing. What have you been up to lately?
Oh my goodness. Well, we'll see in the presentation, but uh, presenting at the International Music and Medicine Conference just last month in Berlin, and very excitedly have a seeds of the next research happening. And it is centered around as you know, for 20 plus years in the ancient Near East, we had the research, but now I live in southern Portugal, and it's really amazing because there's connection between the ancient Near East and ancient Iberia in the Middle Ages. So it's very exciting, and I'm so excited to be here today with you, David, and really want to honor you from. It's almost 10 years since our last collaboration in the Sound Healing Conference, which was live in Oakland. And there are people, well, there are those of you who are watching who are at that presentation, and I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the value of putting one foot in front of the next. And David, you're really such a beautiful example of that, and really contributing lots lots of good to our health and well-being in the world. And I'm very, very happy to be, in another circle, another layer of the onion. We keep going deeper and getting better and better and better, right?
Thank you so much. Okay, so here's the big question. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do to help people on the planet?
With all of the money in the world at this point, what I would do is I would uh, invest in ancient Mediterranean healing music choirs, which are already in process. But I would have that financing go towards financing those um, who weren't able to finance themselves. And I would record those and advertise very powerful, gorgeous, ordinary midlife women in all their juiciness to be seen and heard for the beauty that they are. That, because you don't exactly see juicy middle-aged women, right? In the media, or middle-aged people for that matter, right? That is what I would do.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, so tell us about your presentation.
So I am going to be actually moving forward. It's connected to my last presentation at the Globe Sound Healing Conference was on the science and spirituality. And so much has evolved since then that I thought it would be really, really beautiful to present on the power of ancient Mediterranean therapeutic singing as a self-care tool for healing professionals.
Perfect,
For
perfect.
we as healers and sound healers and healing professionals give to everybody else, but who gives to the givers, and that's really important.
Nice. Okay, let's blast off.
Okay,
I
so
look forward.
just a moment, everyone, while we have, oops, I, I go to
Mhm.
slideshow. Are we seeing the slideshow?
Perfect. Perfect.
And let me just get my notes up on the phone. Whoops. So are you seeing that okay?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. So our presentation today is, as I said, healing through ancient Mediterranean therapeutic singing for clarity, for calm, for authentic power. And, you know, following this point, it's more than 30 years of experience blending ancient wisdom with modern therapeutic applications. And in today's session, what I'd really like to do is for us to explore that unique intersection of sound, of healing, of our voice and ancient wisdom. And one way that we can use our natural voice to calm and soothe ourselves is by humming. When we sound one note to one breath, it focuses us inwards, and it'll work even if you don't physically make a sound. But don't believe me. Let's try together now. So first step, let's just take one note to one breath and go ahead and hum to yourself. Mm. Okay, next round. Go ahead and hum to yourself one note, one breath, but this time don't vocalize. See what happens. Go. And now see how that was. Now let's go one step deeper. This time, could you hear your voice inside silently? This time, listen again, but when you hum again, no, without vocalizing, imagine that your voice is in your tailbone. All right, go. Okay, and how is it now? You know, in pre-biblical times, priestesses, they held profound understanding of the healing power of voice. And they were not only leaders in the temples, but they were also custodians of cosmic wisdom, and they used vibration to bypass the intellect and to connect directly to inner wisdom. And through conscious alignment to the source of sound, they attuned to the highest vibratory frequencies of the universe. And that created a bridge between inner knowing and outer expression. And today, in a world where overdoing and underbeing dominates, the authentic feminine voice offers a path back to that ancient nourishment. And if you think about it, just like mother's milk sustains life, authentic vocal expression has the potential to nurture and ground us through times of turbulence and times of tremendous change like we're going through today. And this is the essence of ancient Mediterranean therapeutic singing. It's a practice that brings ancient healing vibration into our modern world and helps us to reconnect with our innate health, with our innate well-being, our true selves. So, have you heard of Miriam the prophetess? She is Moses's older sister, and Miriam embodies the archetype of feminine power, that force of guidance, that force of an inner resilience. And as a direct descendant as Levite, born Levite, my work continues this ancient tradition, and it brings therapeutic singing's very, very deep and very, very profound roots into modern healing practices. You know, many Eastern traditions, they're ancient Eastern traditions, sound isn't about performing, but it's about deeply listening and aligning with the essence of sound itself. And this approach bypasses your critical mind. It allows us to connect with the deeper part of ourselves. So instead of focusing on how we sound to others, it's about connecting with the silent source of the sound within that grounds us and removes fear or self-consciousness. And you know, it might sound when I'm speaking, this way of engaging, it might seem intangible, but it actually is quite real in its impact. This approach has been proven in modern medical settings, like our groundbreaking research in a 50-50 Israeli-Palestinian neonatal intensive care unit in wartime, where our work with therapeutic singing has had measurable effects on the well-being of newborns and their parents and their staff, all the same. So the therapeutic singing modality that I teach in all of our online courses and retreats, it's rooted in this inner attunement rather than outward performance. And I thought it would be really cool to show you what you're about to see in this video. It's a living example of that approach from ancient times, where we bring that ancient healing sound into modern settings to support families and healing professionals in grounding and resilience. So I want to show you a few-minute clip. This was taken from a documentary that was filmed while we were in the middle of the first research. And it was really cool because they wanted to go to the ancient places and show the modern research. So enjoy. Oops, sorry. I'm going to move forward a bit. I can see different parts. Now, when I speak, I'm going to be speaking in Hebrew, so will the doctor, but there will be subtitles at the bottom of the screen that you can read. כל כך מגיב. ואז כשאת מזמזמת, זה אפילו לא בחוץ, הוא שומע את הרטט, זה מאוד. מה זה עושה לך?
מרגיע. כן.
אז זהו, אין אפס. זה מרגיע אותך, זה גם מרגיע אותו. זה מין כזה מסאז' שאת נותנת לעצמך וגם לא. ואז כשאת שומעת את הביפים, את גם יכולה לשחק עם זה, זה גם ירגיע אותך עם ה...
כן, כאילו.
וליצור מוזיקה זה מאוד כיף, וזה מאוד מאוד מרגיע.
היום אנחנו ממש קנאים לטיפול הזה בפגייה. במסגרת הטיפול של טיפול תומך, יש גם מקום למוזיקה. זה הוכח כבר בכמה מחקרים בארצות הברית, כבר לפני כמה שנים, שמוזיקה, טיפול במוזיקה לפגים, עוזר להם לאותם דברים שאמרתי לכם מקודם. הם אוכלים יותר טוב, מונע, למשל בזמן כאב משמיעים מוזיקה, והם עולים יותר טוב במשקל.
תשעים ושמונה. אפשר להוריד לחמצן קצת. מדהים. כשהקול שלך יתרחק היא יורידה, כשהקול שלך יתגרה תהיה פעם קפצה.
I never tire of seeing that baby. Next slide. Oop. Okay, so this therapeutic singing modality, which is the foundation of all of our courses, all of the retreats, was born from this initial research. And that initial research was conducted with 180 infants, parents, and medical staff, half Israeli, half Palestinian. Who you saw there were Israelis and Palestinians together. I'm very proud of that. And this work has since been cited in 29 research papers, showing its profound impact. The most important thing is that when you trust your inner guidance, it will take you to good places. I really want to support you in doing that, because if I didn't do it, this wouldn't occur. And when David asked me before, what are you up to? And I said about the music and medicine conference, that's, where are we now? This is being recorded in 2024. This research I'm showing you from SAGE, that last one was 2010. So it's 14 years later. Like, you don't know when you're showing up for yourself and you're sharing your truth, you don't know what good will happen from it. And the results of that first research was that therapeutic singing lowers stress and increases quality of sleep with positive impact during the 30 minutes following intervention. That is really important, because we all thought, what's going to be with the healing sound? How will it be? And we measured 20 minutes before, 20 minutes during, and 20 minutes afterwards in the silence. And during was okay, but it was actually in the 20 minutes afterwards that vital signs changed so much that we continued for 30 minutes following. Yet, when you think of how much good, when we follow our truths, when you trust what you're hearing, how much good can happen. But so many healers, sound healers, and healing professionals struggle with inner criticism, with, well, how can I? If I would have listened to that and stopped, this wouldn't have happened, because this has never happened. It was the first time that live singing had been measured in a neonatal intensive care unit. You might think, oh, how do I sound? Maybe when you're going to provide service to a client, or maybe you love sound, but you don't dare to share your voice because, well, what do they think? Is it professional enough? And that focus, it's on the outer experience of the sound. But go back to how we started when you were humming in silence. It's the source of the sound in the silence where its source healing happens, because that's founded in the wholeness. And by embracing an inner attunement, we move beyond that performance anxiety. It dissolves fear, dissolves judgment. And, I spoke about the honor of presenting our work at the International Music and Medicine Conference in Berlin. And this demonstrates how sound can serve as powerful self-care for healing professionals. And this is the next level of the research that's happening, because inadvertently, during that first research that began in the year 2000, it's now 24 years later, it impacted the parents and the medical staff as well. And we all know the emotional and mental toll on caregivers, on healers, on therapists, on sound healers. Often, they're the last ones to prioritize their well-being. Can you relate? It's like you give. But so many times you're carrying such immense responsibility, and yet not prioritizing your own self-care. The impact is really real. The impact of connecting to your voice inside. It's used in healthcare settings, intensive care units, in high stress environments like dental clinics. Imagine if this practice could help you find resilience and balance in your own life, in your own work. It's not just ancient wisdom. It's not just woo-woo. It's a very powerful modern tool for personal transformation. It's not just nice history. Did you actually know that even in ancient civilizations, they were concerned with oral health? This is Hisson Ray, Egypt's first dentist, 2500 BC. Dental tools have been found in the Near East, and recently in the new Balsa exhibit in Tavira, which is my hometown, the Phoenicians were sea travelers, and they spread advanced spiritual and healing technologies across the Mediterranean. But if we fast forward to today, dentists face one of the highest rates of professional stress. And recognizing this, a diamond burr manufacturer, diamond burrs are that little thing when the dentist does their work, those are called diamond burrs. And a manufacturer approached me and hired me to produce a special music program specifically to help dentists manage stress and create a calming environment for their patients, many of whom carry deep-seated dental anxiety. And I want to share with you a unique glimpse of how this works, even from a dental chair, okay? Using my dentist and myself as the example. This is Eliana Gilad, and this is my tooth, an x-ray of my tooth. I'm in the middle of oral surgery. And this is my wonderful dentist, Dr.
Hello.
Hamadi. We're at UCLA Medical Center, and what I want to ask you, I listened to the Voices of Eden guided meditation music while I was in the dentist chair. I have a past of dental trauma, and I noticed that when I listened, it so relaxed me. So I was interested to know when you were, how it affected the dentist. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Was it?
It definitely helps. If our patient is relaxed, it helps us to do a smoother job with no interruption, no anxiety. Like, definitely helps us too.
But what did you know? Was there a difference with me, or was it?
Well, we did it once without the music.
Oh, right. Yeah, was it
And
easier for you?
Today we did it with the music. I think it helped a little.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Huh. How so?
Because whenever patients distracted from the noise of the drill and other sharp stuff that we use, it's probably more like whenever you're in a calm situation, you're more cooperative too.
Yeah, so I was more cooperative with you
you're
today?
Not comprehensive, or yeah, I think so.
Oh, neat.
It will help.
Huh.
But you tell me next time too.
Thanks, I will. Yeah. Okay. So, for so many conscious healers, the biggest barrier isn't the external challenge or the external pain. It's the inner voice, the inner pain that comes from that questioning, from the inner criticism that stops us at the last moment before we speak, before we give of ourselves, before we move forward, before we go to help our clients. That silent saboteur can stop us from so much good. It makes us hold back, people please, or shy away from fully stepping forward into our power, especially when it matters most. And ironically, the more conscious and positive we try to be, the more that voice can subtly run the show. And if you resonate with this, I prepared a little free resource for you. You can just click the QR code and see if your inner voice is stopping you, and discover if your silent voice is holding you back. Okay, so just scan that QR code, and then you can take the test, because that's the first step to transforming that inner critical talk. You can take that, because think about it, your inner critical voice is sound. That is vibration. That is silent sound. But it's silent sound used in a destructive way. We can use sound, or sound can be used constructively or destructively. And when your critical voice is running the show instead of you running your voice, it's a self-saboteur. And you can transform that very thing into a very supportive ally. And I thought it would be nice right now to give you a little exercise, okay? These 3 simple steps. Stop, connect, listen. They're the foundation of ancient Mediterranean therapeutic singing. You can think of them as powerful, practical tools for reconnecting with your own authentic voice, even amidst chaos. Because again, the secret sauce is in connecting to the source of your true voice, which is in the silence behind the sound. So when you take a moment to stop and to ground yourself and to truly listen, you create a bridge to your inner wisdom. And then from your inner wisdom, this is where your authentic expression can flow from. So think of water, for example. It's soft. Yet over time, think of like one drip, one drop, one drip, one drop, one drip, one drop into rock. That can bore a hole through rock that that doing could never do. It's so powerful. True healing power lies in that silence, in the softness behind the sound. So let's try a simple grounding exercise together, okay? At the count of 3, all right, just make any sound, all right? Don't think about it, random, all right? 1, 2, 3, like random. Okay, now stop. And notice yourself sitting wherever you're sitting, whether you're on a chair, a couch. And now feel the connection to your tailbone, your butt bone sitting on the chair. And begin to feel the pull of gravity. And now listen inside. To what sound is there? Is it calm? Is it noisy? There's no right or wrong. You stop, you'll start to hear. And see if you can notice and hear through the sound to the silence, the space that's beyond. That silence that contains all the sound. As simple as this is, it may be a confrontation because a lot of people avoid even stopping for fear of meeting up with that inner critical voice. But within that silence, beyond it, it's another paradigm. There's a soothing, supportive voice. It's so soft. It doesn't compete, it just waits until we stop to connect and listen. And that supportive voice, most people ignore. This practice, simple as it seems, reveals such a profound truth that lasting harmony doesn't come from fixing or doing or getting it right or being perfect, but from deeply listening, which is what the healers in ancient Egypt used to do. Women-led rituals, transitioning into the next world. And the hieroglyphic that you're seeing here is showing funerary singers guiding souls back into that eternal silence. In those days, we were very, very conscious of the power of vibration to heal, to guide in transition. We see hieroglyphics on the way to funerary chambers and birth chambers. They honored that transformational journey from the watery womb to the unknown beyond. Sound has long been a sacred bridge, calming both the soul departing and those left behind, and then those coming in. So many of our retreat and therapeutic singing certification clients find their voice through profound transitions themselves. It's generally when people come in. And one of our certification students that I'm thinking of now as I just looked at that hieroglyphics, she she came in after losing her partner. He had passed from cancer and she was his caregiver, and she turned to therapeutic singing, which had been a source of calm and solace for both of them as he was on his way out and she was in the process of caregiving. And she took a leap and blended her skills as a hairdresser with healing voice and Reiki. And during COVID in lockdown, opened up outside in her backyard a practice. And she had been so shy, but by listening, by connecting beyond that inner critic, and by going beyond that fear of judgment, how will it be? What will they say? Sometimes the most difficult times are they're the mother of invention. She overcame her fear of that judgment, of the trauma that she had been through, and that became a bridge for her helping others. And soon her roster filled. It was quite amazing, just from word of mouth, because other people so needed solace themselves. And in a world where healing professionals often carry the weight of others' traumas, maintaining your own well-being is really a necessity and a responsibility. And throughout history, as we saw in the former slide, women have held space for transformation. But this feminine power isn't just about women. I don't mean men, women are man. It's that feminine power. And as you'll see here, through power of voice, that this nurturing, intuitive power, once stifled, it's deeply rooted in the feminine body and spirit. But again, it's not about man or woman, because here, let's listen to a male hospice nurse share his experience of the healing voices of Eden to calm both his patient and himself.
Hello, Michael, a registered nurse, caregiver. I work with a client, multiple stroke, diabetic, non-ambulatory, bed sores. Also has a rare condition called thalamic syndrome, which he has nerve pain all over his body. He describes it as surges, like electric surges running through his body, and sometimes he feels like he's on fire and very sensitive to touch. The sounds of Eden really helped him manage his pain. He described it as melting the pain away. It also helped me as a caregiver in rendering care. It helped me get on a mellow pace in giving him care. It helped me to relax, being that I was with the client 24 hours of the day. Last days of his life, she was able to recite live the sounds and the humming voices, which was it was a magical experience and helpful to all of us.
All right, let's go back. There we go. So if you grew up in an environment where children were to be seen and not heard, maybe you learned to silence your voice and your creativity related to your second chakra, that place of creativity and being grounded, and the fifth one of expressing yourself. If you grew up in an environment where children were to be seen and not heard, when I go from the videos here and it doesn't quite work right, maybe that would trigger, oh my God, I'm not perfect. Oh my God, I'm making a mistake. Maybe that stops you from moving forward, that you don't move forward because it's got to be perfect. That's a real common symptom of being, of having the second and fifth chakras disconnected. And it is so prevalent amongst female healers, because this silencing of the feminine voice occurred as society, in ancient times, shifted towards intellectual and material involvement, to the masculine. And when we made those shifts, that often dismissed the power of the intuitive, that nurturing expression. Now, I have this slide. It's really exciting for me because I first dared to show this slide at the Sound Healing Conference in Oakland. We had a live conference then. That was about 10 years ago. And it just really is so powerful to see this again, because you notice how the vulva, the female genital and vocal cords look the same. Is that amazing? There's a deep, deep connection between these two. And like all of nature, that silenced power, while it went underground, the majorly cool thing is that it's rising once again, because again, the source of all is unified. How can anything be separate? Nothing goes away. It just goes underground. Same thing with your authentic voice, with your power. And that silence power, that feminine power, is rising once again as we prepare to enter this new phase of human evolution that we are all going towards. We're just so lucky to be alive these days. It's just like an amazing time to be alive. And that's why it is so transformational to reconnect to the source of your inner voice. It's a bridge from your inner knowing to your outer expression. Your inner knowing, the source of your creativity, that second chakra, to your full expression. And as we reconnect to the source of our inner voice, we tap deeply into our transformative power. So it doesn't matter what has been in the past. Present is where our power is. And it's not just about speaking or singing. It's about reclaiming that repressed, that silenced part of ourselves. It's just congealed energy. And there's no need to go backwards. As we express, as we connect to the source, it will bring up what is ready to be released. And the power of ancient Mediterranean therapeutic singing is that when that comes up, we reconnect to source, and what comes up gets released and dissipated, and then it's free for you to use in any way that you would will or desire. That enhances every area of your life, personally, professionally. And imagine when you are fully resourced, connecting to the source of your power, how that impacts others. It makes a positive contribution to all who you come into contact with. So if you resonate with this and you want to go deeper with yourself, I have put together a very special, unique masterclass where we will dive into these practices more deeply and bring that connection to life. And this is more than a masterclass for healing professionals. It really is a journey into your own voice and a chance to start any new chapter in your life. And we will be having the live session at the beginning of the year intentionally so that you can ground in the start of your year and any next or new endeavor in your life, in your career, aligned, calmed, and empowered. The live masterclass will be on January 15th at 8 a.m. Pacific time and 4 p.m. UK time and 2 a.m. +1 down under. And we will be covering these 3 foundational ancient keys to unlock your inner calm and clarity, to reconnect with your intuitive voice, and to shift from perfectionism to empowered expression and resilience, and to find that balance no matter what's going on around you. And in this live experience, we're going to explore those 3 ancient feminine keys that will help you reconnect to your authentic voice, that empowers you to express yourself with clarity, to be real in front of others, in front of loved ones, in front of a camera, whether you're a healer, whether you're an artist, whether you're a therapist, whether you're on a personal journey. These tools are for anyone who feels ready to step into their full power and to the full power of their healing voice. And I wanted to share with you a few seconds of this. Is Catherine Sargent. This was last week on the last day of our Vibrant Voices retreat in Portugal and Spain. And Catherine was so she said, I'm okay when I'm at work and I'm doing what others tell me to say, but when it comes to me really working with others on my own, she's about to launch her own practice. And that she came on the retreat because that's where she would get stopped up. And here's what she had to say about how working with this ancient Mediterranean therapeutic singing and healing voice way helped her. And notice what she goes through in these, it's less than a minute, but I think it's so cool to just watch her, how she speaks, what's behind her voice.
This retreat has allowed me to tap into my inner voice, to express myself clearly and with a soft power that enables me to embrace, my true self. I no longer fear that. I will express clearly what I need to say without hesitance. I no longer need to be, listening or wanting to talk the way others want me to. Being my true self, speaking exactly what I want to say, when I want to say it. Thank you.
So we're going to do this live, but for our conference here, and for those of you watching, I've added 2 exclusive bonuses. One is the access to the recording so that you will be able to revisit the insights at any time, 24/7. And we will also have a complete session transcript for easy reference and reflection, because we're going to be going deep. And the regular price for this course that I give is $297, but because of my respect for globe sound healing, in celebrating 10 years. Like David is walking his walk, and I've been walking my walk, and so many others are walking their walk. And we want to really support you in walking your walk. We have a sound healing special for $47. And we will get you the details. I have here, click below. I thought it was click below for details, but we will get you the link for that. And I really look forward to seeing you. And again, we have the free resource of the quiz to see if your silent voice may be inadvertently trapping you, stopping you. The intent of my offering you that is something you can do immediately. And then in the Embody Your Healing Voice live masterclass for healers, we're going to be diving deeper into that so that you can transform that those inner blocks into inner connection and full outer expression for your health, well-being, and the good, the highest good of us all, your well-being, and for everyone. Your voice truly makes a difference. And I feel so grateful, so happy to have been able to share with you today. And our site is voicesofeden.com. I'm happy to answer any questions. And David, once again, I so appreciate all that you do for the world, all that you're doing with the globe sound healing, and may more good come.
Excellent. Excellent. Cool. Thank you for your presentation. That was really, really excellent. You got me inspired to be able to do research with Neonatal as to exactly what music and what type of music, whether it's toning or melody or drumming, even tuning it to the baby's own metabolism, right?
Oh, you know what? That's so cool that you just said that. When we were watching the video, it reminded me that, did you hear the beeps?
Mhm.
Okay, so I remember like the first day being in there, like this had never been done before. And, I was there with the drum. I don't know, I would like drum and what birthed the no words was, it's like, in what language am I going to sing? It's like the first baby was a Palestinian mother. I don't think she had ever been outside of her village. And people they're so scared, they're babies, they're like pea-sized. And so the beep started and I was terrified. Oh my God, am I killing the baby? Egoic, like I have anything to do with it. But what happened, I stopped and then listened to the beep and started using the beep as the metronome and aligned and attuned to the beep. And I noticed that with that, it was, first of all, it was really fun. And then it was very creative. And two, the beeping would then stop because the baby, it's like we see the outside stuff, right? The machines, the computers, whatever, the equipment. But it's the baby in distress who's doing whatever they do that makes the machine go beep, beep, beep. But then the baby would, the machine would stop because the baby was calming down. And that thing, that ended up being, I said there are 29 citations and other researches. That became a thing. Like they started studying it's a thing. Joanne Lowy, you can look her up. She's head of music therapy at Beth Israel Medical Center. She did research on sympathetic resonance, like of those beeps. And then it was amazing, this music and medicine conference. They were from all over the globe. They're at the poster presentations, there were a few women who were doing exactly that with singing. And it's just, there's so much available. And it's just, we live really in such exciting times that, we're kind of like the pioneers in this, setting the way. And, the people coming in now, you guys have so much opportunity. There is so much need. And oh my goodness, today there's acceptance of this. When I started 30 years ago, it's like nobody knew what I was talking about. Remember, David?
I love it. Yeah, the potential is just really massive, right?
Yeah,
Really, in so many different areas. I love that when you had us listen to the symphony inside, because I think it's so common. I've been asking people for years, do you know where home is? And
oh,
people off less than a quarter know, and not their note, but where, when they're at peace. And if you just simply be still, like you said, and then notice whether there's anxiety or chaos or peace.
yeah. Is that's the that's it, isn't it? It's like the harmony's there already. And listening, it's like when we dare stop to listen, but we have to dare stop first, otherwise it's, the usual. And then when we stop, what else I like to akin it to, like a well, at the top of the well, the water's, calm, and this sweet waters. Oh, we love that. And that's where most of us live. Even in the sound healing room. Oh, Om Shanti, but the moment you dive deeper, all the silt comes up. And it's muddy and it's silty, and you can't tell the difference between, what's the mud and what's the water and what's the rocks. And that's where most people will jump out, because that is not a comfortable place to be. But change and expansion, it's not comfortable. If you really want to move forward, if you really want to make your mark, you are here to make your mark. There are no two voices the same. And you have an important contribution to make. But you got to be willing to be uncomfortable, because our growth, birth is messy. Contractions they're bloody, they're uncomfortable. Yet on the other side is the baby, new life, a birth. And that's what we're all in today. There's not a human being alive anywhere on this good God's planet Earth, and what a wonderful opportunity we have. And the last thing I want to say about that is, what you said, it kind of reminds me of this, like symphonies. You can't say, well, I just like the violins, I just like the harp. Well, they're tubas, and there's crashing, and it's like, well, you can just like the violins, but that's not a symphony. Symphonies, the harmony includes dissonance.
I love that.
It includes that.
I love it. Yeah, the second we don't make dissonance and chaos and craziness weird, then there's no resistance. And the resistance is what kills you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you know what? You know what else? Earlier today, exactly to that point, I was thinking, well, yeah, and what if the resistance is part of the whole too? I'll welcome that.
I love that.
Right?
I love it. I love it. We can just end on, it's all perfect.
Yeah, it's all well. Yeah. Yeah. Gorgeous.
Thank you for your wisdom.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Your work. I really appreciate having you here.
Yeah, I really appreciate being here. Thank you for everything that you contribute to our wonderful world. And thank you to everyone who's watching, to what you contribute to our wonderful world. It really, really makes a difference. And we look forward to hearing more from you.
Excellent. Take care.
Bye.